Is the USA ungovernable? I heard it said the other day that a failure to pass the bills stuck in Congress would prove that the USA has become ungovernable. Now, please allow me a comment on the side. I used the word Congress. Let that be the last time we talk politics. Back to our chat. Let's stipulate that when we say ungovernable, we are still talking about self-government. Second side comment. I used the legal word stipulate, which means, of course, let's agree for the sake of the argument that we are still talking about self-government. Let that be the last time we consider this a matter that can be resolved inside a legal system. If the USA becomes ungovernable, we won't be working out our issues inside a rule of law. Back to our chat. Let's get a global perspective on this. In previous historical eras, the pace of change was slow. Then in the 1800s, it began to accelerate. We now live in a world of relatively fast, radical change that, over decades, threatens to sever our roots to who we are by putting that in a global, not national context. We say that refugees expelled suddenly from their homes face an existential threat. Managed poorly, globalization is a slow-motion version of that. It takes decades, not days, but when globalization disrupts an economy and imposes divergent economic fates on members of a society, from impoverishment for some to quantum leaps in wealth for others, the pervasive change may be hard to grasp, but it is no less radical. Another side comment, please. I used the word economy as if it's a standalone thing, standing alone from politics. Not true, never true. So from now on, let's talk only about political economies. Back to our chat. It is not given that a political economy that combines political democracy with private property will always be able to handle the divergences of the magnitude we see under globalization. In this situation, self-governance takes a vast, prolonged, conscious effort. Now, there's 1,000 hours of things to be said here, but let me close with only one. Typically in the world of 170 plus countries, ungovernable sometimes means anarchy. Usually it means dictatorship, i.e. order, not law and order. And usually, if like any good detective you follow the money, you will find some economic fix being sheltered from democracy. At this very moment, Sudan is tottering between democracy and dictatorship, military dictatorship. It's all very confusing, and yes, it looks like anarchy. But when I read that the generals control the gold exports being a global, not national source of portable wealth, things came into focus. Cool thing about smaller countries, they often only have one or two or a half a dozen of these fixes. It makes the analysis easier.